win.
What's up? Good morning, Raider Nation. Happy fucking Monday. It's time to start another week. Yes, it is. And we've got so much. Our head is now full with so much football promise. We had some USC fights this weekend. It went off without a hitch. So now you see a live sporting event can happen, even if fans aren't in the stands. Football will most likely be upon us. We've had the draft. Now you know your 2020 schedule. You've all been going crazy trying to buy up tickets all fucking weekend. I know you have. I have. I know you have too. But there's just so much to digest when you finally get the season. But first, I know everybody's been asking, what do you think, Commish? What do you think of the season? Well, Tuesday night, a solid hour, my full breakdown of the entire 2020 season, plus my way too fucking early season predictions. So make sure you tune in Tuesday night for my entire breakdown. But until then, let's get to the 2020 schedule.
What's up, Raider Nation? Hope y'all staying safe. Hope y'all ready for this upcoming season. Let's go get a championship. Just win, baby.
Would no doubt admit, and he joins us right now live on the Schedule Release Show. What do you think of the schedule, Michael? What do you think of the schedule?
I think it's hammer time, man. Now, seriously, in all seriousness, Rich, I mean, we have 4 primetime home games. I think that charges up the players. It's a big challenge. You know, week 2, we have our home opener with the New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees comes to town. So you want to talk about excitement. I think our players are excited. I think the fans are going to be fired up. Brand new stadium. They're calling it the Death Star. I think Al Davis would have loved it. It's a beautiful, beautiful stadium.
Sure.
You know, Mark Davis done a great job of getting it ready.
Yeah, and we're knocking on wood again that we see a bunch of fans filling up in that city that we missed having the draft in this year, and we will in a couple of years from now. And then again, as you pointed out, the first game where you got it right down at the bottom of the screen, the Saints, Drew Brees coming in with Sean Payton into that town. That will be, if we get some fans in that stadium, knocking on wood, that'll be great, Mike.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I mean, you're talking about Drew Brees week 2. I think we have Sunday games week 7 and week 11 with Tampa Bay and Kansas City. So Tom Brady comes to Allegiant Stadium. Patrick Mahomes, who we have the privilege of competing against twice a year. It's going to be an exciting year, and I just hope and pray that we can get to some semblance of normalcy.
3 of the last 4 games at home. If we can take care of business and stay in contention and be a factor in December, to have 3 home games in Las Vegas is really exciting. But like I said, you know me too well. I don't want to talk too much about week 14, 15, and 16. We'll play anybody, anywhere, on any time zone. That's the mentality I want us to have. And I know that's the mentality we're going to have.
This 2020 schedule has everybody talking. You seen the GM and the coach are jacked, but every fucking buddy else is talking too.
Well, release, breakdown, GMFB style. Time for big deal or no big deal. And let's start with that team that we mentioned has 4 games under the bright lights in Las Vegas. It is the Raiders. Big deal or no big deal, Kyle? The newly minted Las Vegas Raiders get those 4 primetime games.
I mean, how could this not be a big deal? This is a huge deal. And I just look at it, it's an historic deal. If you were to go back 10 years ago and tell a diehard football fan, check out what's going down in 2020. The Raiders are going to be in Las Vegas, and they're going to say, wow, they're going to play a game in Las Vegas. No, no, no. They're going to be based in Las Vegas. They're going to be playing in a giant new stadium that's referred to as the Death Star. Their GM is Mike Mayock, and they'll be like, the guy who does color commentary for Notre Dame games? Yes, him. Their coach is John Gruden. The guy from the Wing commercials? Yes. And David Carr's little brother is their quarterback, and they're in Vegas, and they're ready. This is a huge, huge deal. It's 4. I wish it was 10. This is going to be awesome.
Big deal, colossal deal. Listen, if you're not in the surrounding cities, of course, if you live in Vegas and you're a Raiders fan, you'll go. But if you're not in Arizona, LA, or just a diehard that wants to make it to every game, if you want to see the game, but you don't want the Vegas experience, this is a big deal. So for me, I'm a fan of the Raiders. I got guys on the team that I still love and support, but I live here in New York, so I can't hop on a plane every time I want to go see a game. But if they have 4 primetime games, I get to experience all of it. I get to see the glitz, the glamour, the bright lights. I get to walk downstairs, turn on the TV, make me a meal, sit back, and I get Vegas in my living room, which is the greatest thing ever.
It's time for Prime.
Yo, this is Prime with the Prime Cut on the Raider Reaction Morning Show. And over the weekend, we finally had some live sports. UFC 249. And it was really great to see some live sports. But I tell you what, that was the first event I'd seen, I guess, what it would look like if there were absolutely no fans in the arena. They were in Jacksonville, Florida there. And, of course, there were no fans in the seats and very limited personnel in the building as well. But it still didn't stop a really good night of fights, man. Like, Ngannou stood out for me. He was amazing. And Justin Gaethje is a beast, man. The way he took on Tony Ferguson was a complete and total surprise to me, man. I thought Ferguson was going to go in there and just wipe him out. But, man, Ferguson has probably one of the best chins in the UFC that I have ever seen. He took a beating like nobody else, man. And when he did that little sidestep, little shake of his head and whatnot, man, it was pretty obvious that he was done, and I think it was a good stoppage of that fight. But Justin Gaethje really proved something. Like, before, I'd seen him knock out a couple of dudes, you know, but I had never seen him put together a fight like this, where he was just completely on top of his game plan, with the low kicks and with the striking and his awkward movements and going inside, ducking low, and then swinging back over top, man. It was really, really, really a joy to watch. So, finally, some live sports, and I can't wait for the football, but I'll deal with some UFC until that time comes. This is Prime, and that's the Prime Cut. I'm out.
There's a shakeup at the top. There's been a division. It's time to get to the Raider Reaction 2020 Off-Season Madden Challenge. Power 5. Who the top 5 are. We have just finished up week 14. We're into week 15 action already. We are deep into the playoff run. There's already, you can only see there's a few teams that have a heartbeat left at grabbing these wild cards. It's down to only a very, very few. Postseason is upon us. Check out the standings throughout the entire league. Steelers own the North, but the Bengals still might make a wild card. Texans now also clinched this week. Jags still holding on to a wild card. Jets running the East, but the Dolphins still have a wild card chance, and the Raiders are in first place in the West. Vikings in first place in the toughest division in the league might spawn 2 wild cards. Falcons have claimed first in the South. Redskins with a 2-game lead in their division, and Commish Jr. with the Cardinals in a 2-game lead in his division. Now it's time for your Week 14 Flash Prize. Who had the top performance out of your 4 Player of the Weeks, your 2 AFC defensive and offensive, and your NFC defensive and offensive players of the week? Whoever had the best performance out of those 4. And this week, it was the Jags. Rob with Mark Andrews, who went for 5 touchdowns, had an amazing game. He gets to pick between, he's got the Raider Reaction black t-shirt, deep behind the enemy lines t-shirt with pop socket, or he can pick the 60th anniversary patch with pop socket. Pop socket and patch are courtesy of the official sponsor of Raider Reaction, RaiderNationStore.net. Those are the flash prizes. Rob, let us know which one you would like. Now, going in the big badass box for your Week 14 edition to our grand prize. It's already got the autographed Josh Jacobs jersey in it. It's got a prize that we've put in it every single week. And this is just a nice little nugget. It is an authentic replica RAIDER football helmet, chrome edition. It's all padded out and everything. This is a very nice little nugget that you'll find inside your big badass Raider box if you are the winner. A little chrome replica Raider helmet there. RAIDER for going in the grand prize. Now, your Week 15 flash prize for the Raider Reaction 2020 Offseason Madden Challenge we will be naming tomorrow morning. As soon as Rob tells us which one he wants, we will leave the remainder item and then add a new item to it for the Week 15 winner to choose from. Now, let's get to the individual statistics to wrap up this segment for this week's wrap-up. Number 1 quarterback in the league is Russell Wilson for the league-leading Steelers, leads the league in yardage and touchdowns with 59. Prime's quarterback Mitch Trubisky leads the league in interceptions. Number 3 on the power rankings, Devontae Freeman for the Vikings, 1 yard over 1,300 as the Skins running back leads the league in touchdowns. Zach Ertz for the Raiders leads the league in receptions with 94. Robbie Anderson of the Texans leads the league in yardage as Tyreek Hill for the Skins leads the league in touchdowns. Montez Sweat leads the league in sacks as Shazier leads the league in interceptions, and Marquise Brown with 3 kick returns and 1 punt return as a return specialist.
Yo, man, Raider Chris here. Hopefully everybody had a happy Mother's Day. Well, shit, man, we had UFC fights this weekend, which was cool. You know, I think there was some NASCAR racing, you know, golf's coming up, you know, shit's starting to loosen up now. You know, as long as everybody follows protocol and stays 6 feet away from me, I'm good. Wear your fucking mask if you have to, I don't care. You know, hopefully the NFL starts on time. Baseball seems to be, it's like it's right around the corner. We'll find out this week with the proposals coming up. See what happens. Yeah, NBA's a wash. Doubt that it ever comes back. You know, even if we do have sports that come back, it's going to be without fans. And fuck it, I don't care. I don't care. I want something. The Korean Baseball League is a prime example that I haven't heard nobody getting sick over there. So we'll see what happens. Peace.
What's up, guys? It's Raider Watt with the morning mailbag here on the Raider Reaction Morning Show. One thing I am pumped about is Javen White, the undrafted free agent. I think the guy's going to make the squad. He's a hell of a player. I'm excited to see how he turns out. I'm also excited to see how they use Tanner Muse. I know they were talking about linebacker, so it's definitely 2 players that I'm excited to see where they land and how they play in their production during the preseason to see, you know, if they definitely make the squad or not. You know, with the schedule out and the draft behind us, It's nothing but good things ahead, so just hold tight, Raider Nation.
Don't think we forgot to fucking have a D-bag of the day now, would you? Come on. Really?
You, sir, are a fucking douchebag.
Holla, shout out to douchebag of the day. Those assholes that decide that because either you may be a single mom or a single dad, that you get a dual role, so automatically you get to take over the other one's fucking holiday. Fuck you, dude. Mother's Day is Mother's Day and Father's Day is Father's Day. Kudos to you for taking on those two roles, but no, man, that's not cool. Get your own fucking day. Mother's Day's for mothers.
And now, to send you out on your Monday, just grab it by the throat and straight make it your bitch. Your Raider quote of the day. You have to adapt or die. And I don't plan on dying. Words from the coach, John Gruden. Have a kick-ass Monday, Raider Nation. Tonight, make sure you tune in. It's a fucking insane Monday night as Big L will be holding it down solo style. So make sure you tune in tonight, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Big L holding it down live on Raider Reaction. And of course, don't miss Tuesday night, my entire piece by piece, game by game schedule breakdown and full 2020 season predictions. The Raider Nation Report, Tuesday night. And we'll be back here tomorrow morning. Same Raider time, same Raider channel. Until then, I'm out. Have a kick-ass Monday. Peace, love, Raider Nation.